Hi, and welcome to CyberOne's certification and training program. If you're here for training or just support today, but you're interested in learning more about how you can become certified as a CyberOne expert, just contact your account manager or email us at support@cb1security.com. Okay, let's get started. Today we're in the issue management training section, and we're going to be looking at the risk mitigation workflow. So how we respond to findings and create risk mitigation plans. And we do this through the portal. But we're going to start at the notification stage. So when a finding is created, the primary contact, the person who will be responsible for mitigating that finding, receives an email notification from the system. So we'll start there. So here we are looking at the email that's been sent out to our primary contact. And you can see that in this case, our contact has multiple findings that are open and require mitigation. So in this case, the primary contact can click on any of these links to open these finding records, and the link will take that person to the appropriate record. So I'm just going to click on one of these, and this will take you to the portal. The light user portal, so the light user side of CyberOne. And as you can see, it's taken us directly to our finding record. And then the first thing we're asked is, are we able to mitigate this by a due date, in this case, June 4? The CyberOne system automatically defaults to 30 days from the creation of the finding, but this date can be changed and customized according to the requirements of the company, of your company. So if we click yes, that will take us now to a mitigation protocol. And if we click no, basically we're saying we cannot mitigate by the due date. And then that will take us to an exception request. And we'll show you that in a training, in a future training. But today we're going to click yes. And so here now we move into, as you can see, a mitigation plan record. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put in our mitigation plan. So how we will mitigate this finding. We want to put our expected completion date, which of course has to be before the due date of the finding. We can upload any files if we choose to support our mitigation plan if we need to. And here we can also add comments for the risk manager. And these comments will then be populated in the risk management platform in the finding record, not in the risk mitigation plan. And the risk manager can then actually respond to these comments from the finding record in the platform. And so you can have a communication channel that's open, but logged in the system for audit purposes. So comments can go here. Note, if you add a comment, you do have to actually click the add to make sure that these comments are logged as part of your mitigation plan. So now we're ready. Now you can see that we have a couple of other options here as well. We can just submit this now, which means this is the plan that we are proposing, but we have not completed the plan yet. And when we have completed the plan, then we would come back here and we would say, I'm ready to attest to completion, and then do a test to completion. But for now, I'm just going to submit this. It gives me a fair warning, and I say, okay. And there you can see it has been submitted. And now I'm going to just take that finding ID to show you that once it's been submitted here, and now we can also see it in our management platform. So as you can see, I'm just using that finding ID to search here. So I'll click search. And there you see here is my finding ID. Now I can see that there is a risk mitigation plan as the risk manager that's open. And if I want to take a look at that, I can go down to the finding response detail. I can open that plan. And just as a reminder, I did add comments here as the primary contact, so I can also review those comments. So let's look at the mitigation plan first. I can take a look at this. If I want to, I can look at these comments. Then again, if I want to respond as the risk manager, I can just respond. can add the related comment if I want to. It's not obligatory. And then I just click save. And so now I'm monitoring this risk mitigation plan. And then again, as the primary, going back to the primary contact side, now that I'm ready to close the mitigation plan, I can see that the risk manager responded to my comment. Everything looks good. So now I'm going to just say I'm ready to attest to completion, and then I'll attest to completion. Now, again, at any time, if you realize during the mitigation process that you are not going to be able to complete the mitigation plan by the due date, as you see, I've only got 2 days here, then I do have also the option to change this to exception request. So that's our final part here. But in this case, I'm just going to attest to completion. I set the date that I completed this, obviously the date that I'm attesting. I double check that. So again, this is my fair warning. And now I submit it. And then if we go back to the risk mitigation plan in our platform, you'll see the status has been closed. And the next step for the risk manager would be to validate. And we'll show you that in a future training. Okay, great. So that concludes our training for today. That's how you create a risk mitigation plan in CyberOne. Thank you.